Hey guys, what's going on? Back again with another zombies video, and for this one, I'm actually not sure what to call it. If it's a technically Black Ops 4 Easter egg, a Cold War Easter egg, not Cold, yeah, Cold War, or Vanguard, because it might spread throughout all three games. To be honest with you, I guess the bulk of it is going to be Black Ops 4. So as you guys know, we had Tag Your Totem was the final DLC map for Black Ops 4, and in that, Kevin Sherwood, who writes the songs and, a lack for a better word, makes the songs for Treyarch in the Treyarch Zombies mode, and does some other audio stuff for Treyarch. He came out with two versions of the Easter egg song for Tag the Totem, one being, I think, A Light from the Shore, and then Vanishing Shore. And so he kind of retweeted that, or mentioned it, I guess might be a better word. So he tweeted yesterday, as you can see, 15 hours ago on December 28th. It says, "Did you guys ever check out the instrumental version of A Light from the Shore called Vanishing Shore?" And he didn't really say much other than that, but I know in the past he has tweeted, kind of hints towards stuff. So it looks like he kind of mentioned that again, and I'm guilty of. I'll be 100% honest. I'm guilty of purposely forgetting stuff so I don't like spill the beans. But when you go back and watch the Vanishing Shores video, you'll see something very interesting. And the reason I say that is because there's stuff that went on, and because this is from Black Ops 4 technically, and I didn't know about it, so I'm not making it sound like I'm a genius back then and knew what everything was coming, or everything that was coming. But in Cold War, definitely did, and there's stuff that's still lingering out there like this that people still haven't solved or noticed, and I don't want to necessarily spill the beans. And it's the same thing with Vanguard, and why I get upset with the big zombie YouTubers that are toxic and negative and trolled, and pretty much shit post nowadays, and that's all how they make money. Is they pretty much just shit post all kinds of negative stuff to cash in, and stuff like that. They don't really even play the game. They don't solve Easter eggs. They just find the most negative topic to make a video about and then post about it. So, anyways, I guess at this point it's neither here or there. But um, like I said, I'm trying to like keep stuff, not step on anyone's toes, because sometimes when Treyarch does stuff, I'm like, oh, that's exactly what that is. That's the Easter egg. Oh, I know exactly what that is. But I try and let other people solve it now, kind of going back the way that it used to be. I just recently started making more videos um, about different topics and different Easter eggs, but I'm still trying to keep quiet about everything. So again, with all that being said, he reminded us, I guess might be the best word, is that to go look at the Vanishing Shores video, and within that video, um, you'll see, or I'll show you what I responded. Hopefully this doesn't get butchered. Okay, so I responded. I said, "Oh, that's friggin' brilliant," because that looks like, if you watch the video, there's a silhouette that looks like Peck with the same raincoat on, standing in the distance. And I'm not gonna really go break down the entire video because there's so many Easter eggs in there and symbolism, but I am gonna mention a couple things. I said that's brilliant because that looks like it's Peck in the video, and the show looks like it's silhouette. And I happen to pause it at the same point where you see the same long raincoat, and a guy standing almost in the same exact pose as Peck. It actually looks like it's flip flopped a little bit, unless it's meant to do that on purpose, like the alternate version of it. Like this is the Dark Ether version, and this is the Ether version. So I don't know if that means, like, I don't like getting into theories because I know how negative the zombie YouTubers are, and they'll like, crap on each other's theories. Um, but I wonder if that means like maybe like they're gonna show him in the old Ether story. Maybe he's going back to the Ether story, which would be like amazing. Not saying it's confirming any like Zombie Chronicles 2, because I don't think that was ever a thing. There's not a story. I'm gonna touch on that really quickly. what people fail to realize is that Zombie Chronicles was its like game in itself, where Revelations ended where Monty sent us back to the beginning, and Revelations was that beginning. It's kind of like Revelations was the prequel to Zombie Chronicles, and then we get the new versions of those maps and characters and stuff like that. With that being said, I don't know if there is a story to be told about, um, let's say, Victus getting sent back to the beginning, um, unless they're just going to kind of use the same story where somehow somebody, I always said it was going to be the time bomb was going to send them back to the beginning. Maybe they use the time bomb, and that would be the only way I think possible that they could have get sent back to the beginning. I know in Diarize intro cutscene, Rick Toffin sends us back to the beginning once they die. He says, "Hey, do it all over again. Go back to the beginning and start new or whatever. Start anew." So it's pretty cool that like I said, I always look for hints like this from the devs because I'm like, there's a lot of stuff I can tell people, but I don't want to step on the devs' toes. Maybe they're not ready for it. Maybe it spoils their little um, surprise or secret, and it might be super annoying, like the smart aleck kid that answers every single question that the teacher asks, and then all the other students get annoyed that like he's answering all the questions and give somebody else a chance, let other people figure it out. And that's kind of my mentality. I try and like now look for the right opportunity or look for a sign almost from the devs that like, hey, maybe something's coming from 115 Day. That's the only thing I can think of is like maybe they have something planned for 115 Day. I don't think it would be anything in Black Ops 4. That'd be kind of crazy, but it is cool to see that they acknowledge that, hey, we haven't solved this. Nobody noticed it. Nobody made the connection. And this is just the first part. I'm going to go over what the other Easter egg is. Again, so that's kind of like, looks like Peck. This is from the final end cutscene of Forsaken. And I guess in a way, too, like, I don't want to, again, put a negative spin on it, but all the negativity that's going around with the zombie YouTubers, that everything's rushed, nothing's thought about ahead of time, and I know it's just to generate money and clicks and stuff like that. But it goes to show that like back on like I think the video is from December 2019. That it's 2 years from then they started planning the story and stuff like that. So again, that's just the first part of it, that it looked like he kind of like gave us a hey, go back and look at this stuff. And they also did that in the early parts of Black Ops 4, or like the mid Black Ops 4. There was stuff that like we missed in Black Ops 3, and they gave us hints in Black Ops 4, like, hey, go back and look at this. You missed some of the story and stuff like that. With the whole phase and Dark Ether and stuff like that. Which is amazing. I mean, like I tell people, everybody misses so much more of the story. Everybody only knows what Treyarch tells them, and I understand, and I've mentioned this millions of times before, is it's part of being young. Nobody wants to put their self out there, and get ridiculed or made fun of for having a theory or having an idea that's separate. And it's pretty ironic too, because that's pretty much what happened with Aristotle and Plato back in the day, and that's what, funny enough, Zombies is based on, is some of the philosophies of Aristotle and Plato, that like back then you had a different idea from everybody else, you literally would get killed. And it's pretty funny and ironic that we're kind of going through that now. The kids nowadays, they can't have any ideas of their own, any other theories of their own, because they're going to get ridiculed and made fun of by the other zombie YouTubers and stuff like that. As you get older, you're like, I don't give a crap about any of these people. The zombie YouTubers, like, they're pretty much wrong about everything, so why are you going to worry what people are saying if they're pretty much wrong about a lot of stuff? Not to say that that's the mentality you should have, because everybody should have their own theory and stuff like that, but when they try and disprove you and make fun of you for having your own theory, then that's on them, not on you. Again, moving forward, so in the video, and this is kind of where I'm gonna, it gets a touchy topic or a touchy subject, and it's something ironically that I tweeted Ken Levine about, or posted on a video that he got interviewed about stuff getting inspired from pop culture. And I'm not going to say what it is, but in the video, and I'm going to kind of fast forward to the end, you see the house burning down, and then you see a lighthouse, and then after the lighthouse you see the big um, meteor crashing, pretty much hinting maybe crashing at the meteorite. Maybe that's it there, or it could be the sun. There's so much different ways to interpret it. But if you find the source material in pop culture, you can say that, hey, that maybe that's like something crashed on Earth in the distance. That could be the sun rising, the sun setting. It could be maybe a boat, a ship. But if you go to the source material and use that, and you would have to know this to kind of figure out what went on in Cold War, is that a meteor crashes right at the lighthouse. And again, this is from 2019, and I'm tiptoeing around the answer again, because I feel like sometimes you give the answer, nobody's gonna appreciate it. They're just gonna like put a negative spin on it and make a video out of it. But what you're seeing is a lighthouse in either 115 or a meteor of sorts, or it could be an entity. We actually don't know, because it does look like it's breathing and pulsating, and it has like eyes and stuff like that. So it could be an entity that's crashing to the lighthouse, coming towards it, and then after it crashes, it goes back to normal. So those are a couple of hints without, again, stepping on anyone's toes at Treyarch and giving too many answers away. Unless people really, really, really want an answer, then I can tell them flat up, this is what it's from. This is, what you're looking at. But again, just kind of tiptoeing around some of the stuff that you're seeing is a lighthouse, and a light either crashing in the distance, and at the end you see either another meteor or asteroid, or another entity or being that crashes to Earth, and the cycle kind of started over again. And if you happen to figure any of that out, you're really going to appreciate Cold War a lot more. Probably going to appreciate Vanguard a little bit more, and definitely Black Ops 4 a little bit more. And it's definitely worth looking into. Again, they're pretty cool giving some answers when I guess they feel that enough time has passed that, like, hey, people didn't really figure this out. Go back and look at this. And like some of the stuff, like I said, I didn't know about it back then, but when Cold War started and maybe towards the middle of the end, I kind of like, oh, that's exactly what that is. And then to see Kevin drop a little hint, that's pretty cool. But I still feel a little bit reluctant to talk about the specifics of it. But if you do, then you'll know that, like, and I probably should say it because, again, I know that everybody puts a negative spin on everything, but this is showing that, hey, back on December 25th, they really started Cold War in the next game and had an idea of what's coming up. And it's the same thing with Vanguard. People are putting, the toxic zombie YouTubers are putting a negative spin on everything. But if you know what I know, you would know that it's been a while since Vanguard has been, made, and the idea, or the inception of the idea of what's going to go on in Vanguard, and it's going to hopefully get put to use, or we'll kind of finally see the end of it. But it's the same thing like this. Nothing. People say that, oh, it just got made quickly and rushed and stuff like that. Of course, COVID's a real thing, and that's one of the reasons. But it still isn't as rushed as people are making it out to be. The ideas are made months and years ahead of time. With any story or movie or series, that, like, they have ideas probably years ago. Even like Blundell said that with the Chaos story. A lot of this stuff has been thought up years ago. but then they finally decide to implement it and stuff like that. So again, you see the guy, the shadow, which looks like Peck in the raincoat. So that's one main thing. I don't think there's anything with the house, so I'm gonna skip that part unless there's something from Cold War that I missed. But then the other important part is the lighthouse and the rock or entity crashing on the shore or whatever. So anyways, I'm gonna leave it at that. I know it's pretty vague. Again, maybe in the future I'll make an updated video if nothing, if nobody really solves anything or figures anything out. I'll see you guys later.